FOG Andrew here, and the coach here for Family of Gamers. Welcome, Wargamers, to an exciting, awesome video. We're going to be actually doing something a little different. We haven't really done this. A discussion video on Star Wars Legion.
Alright, so it's March 2019. We went to Adepticon in 2018 and we picked up Star Wars Legion there, and I know that it just came out, so we picked it up there. We picked up the core set, the snow speeder, and a bike extension. The guy said get the bike extension because to make it even points you'll need the extra bikes. So I got the extra bike section, and then somebody gave me a whole set of things, so now I have 6 bikes. So we've gotten a few expansions over the year that's come out, and let's talk about that. So it's been about a year. They've come out with Palpatine, Pathfinders.
They've come out with stuff, and then they've also revealed a lot of stuff for upcoming stuff. Like they have come out and revealed a lot of stuff, and you could even see we did some videos on the new stuff that they've revealed.
Yeah, we're
so check out those.
Covering the news as it comes out, but it seems like it's every month something's coming out. So like just recently was Jyn Erso and the Pathfinders. So you can get Jyn and the Pathfinders, and that fits in. That actually fits in because even though Rogue One is a newer story, but it was a newer movie, but it's in the time of the original trilogy. So it fits. I think it fits. She's good. The Pathfinders are good. It makes sense.
Yeah. So pretty much what we're going to talk about is what we think, or what they should do, or what they might do. Just some speculation.
What we'd like to see.
On what we'd like to see and what we think they should do. But before we talk about that stuff, if this is your first time here, why don't you consider subscribing for more Star Wars Legion videos in the future. We got battle reports, unboxings. Also, like we said before, we got the Star Wars Legion news stuff. When the news comes out for new stuff that they reveal, we're going to be doing videos on those and discussing those, so make sure you go check out that stuff. And yeah, let's get into the discussion. So it's almost a year, and we know that they are going to be coming out with Clone Troopers and Separatists, which is pretty exciting because, like, even though those prequels movies suck, I still like Clone Troopers. They have a cool design, even though the droids are a little annoying. But like the Clone Troopers, I love the Clone Troopers. For some reason, I love the Clone Troopers. Whether it be like Lego stuff, I love the Clone Troopers. Or like the designs of the Clone Troopers. The Star Wars Clone Wars show it's great. I'm excited for clones.
Right.
That's what I'm excited for. Separatists might be interesting, you know, using the destroyer droids or super battle droids and all that. But what I was thinking is like for droids, you got battle droids, you got super battle droids, and then you have the destroyer droids. Like, what other expansions would they use? Because a lot of the other droids are mostly like ships.
Right, but then you could think of General Grievous, Count Dooku, yeah. And then what about the Genosians? Maybe they can be a part, because they're part of the Separatists. So, and also, like, let's say the Trade Federation. Now, those guys had all the droids fighting for them, and Grievous was fighting for them, and Dooku was with them. But maybe like one of the guys, like a named character, can be maybe a general or an operative,
like Newt Gunray,
yes,
or some
of those
something
guys.
Like that.
Yeah, and they could, you know, maybe do that. And then again, you have Grievous's. Remember the Episode 3? Oh, Anakin goes in.
The guards. Those guys
fight.
Are cool.
Yeah. So remember, like Obi-Wan tried to fight them, and he cut him in half, and it was basically like Monty Python.
Yeah.
And he had just his arm left, and that. So there's a lot there. Clone Troopers.
Yeah, you know what though? It's like, not to cut you off, but it's like, you know, I think about it, it's like, well, they could do this, and this, but what else? It's like, once you start digging in, there are a lot of other stuff that they could use.
Right. So now, let's talk Clone Troopers. Now, we have to go down this path, and then I have to take you on another path.
Okay.
So we got Clone Troopers. You got Cody, right? Cody, Obi-Wan, Rex, Anakin, right? All the Jedi. Yoda, or all of the Jedi.
Now my thing is with that is doing all Jedi. I think the Jedi should only be like leaders,
right,
and like operatives, but not like don't go crazy and go like Shock T and this guy and this guy.
Kit
and this
Fisto.
guy. Okay, but Kit Fisto, yeah, because he looks cool. But
Yeah.
like, what I'm trying to say is like, don't go overboard with the Jedi.
But
Because
then
when you go
again-
overboard, it's like a bunch of Jedi versus the droids.
Right, but then it could be but here's the thing. Let's say you get Mace Windu and Obi-Wan and Padme and Anakin. Let's just say those 4 Jedi, and then they can lead a bunch of maybe some Padawans.
Yeah.
And there would be more of like, I hate to bring up 40K, but let's say a Grey Knight army, like and the elite of the elite, and it's a small number. So like when you take, let's say, the Separatists, you take 100 models, but the Jedi, you're really only taking maybe 40, 45 models. Maybe some ships or tanks or guns, which they're going to come out with now. But they're like, they hit like a hammer, but they can also get killed.
Yeah.
All right. So you have the clones, the Clone Wars, all those tanks, all those missions. Then you think about the Clone Wars series. So all that stuff in there, and then I'm looking at it now on the bookcase, the animated Clone Wars. Remember that?
Yes.
With Dirge. Was it? Okay.
If I could, Dirge working with the Separatists.
Right, he's working with the Separatists.
Ooh.
Now, I take the Clone Army. I'm fighting your Separatists. Right? Jedi with me, and I'm kicking butt left and right. Then Order 66 hits. Now what happens?
That would be a pretty cool event.
Right. Do you take the
like
clone
mission thing.
The Clone Army? Can the Clone Army fight the Order 66 army?
Yeah.
Because eventually, now this is one of the things. I've been doing the historical gaming, and the debate is this weapon was in the 1600s, but I don't play the 1600s. I play the 1500s. So you can't use this weapon if you play me. Okay, my thing is, if you take a guy from this era and he fights a guy in this era, hand-to-hand combat, maybe, let's say historically, like say the samurai, they can fight with swords and naginatas and stuff like that. Okay, so the warrior from the 1700 versus a guy from the 1600, who would win? And then you play it. To me, that's kind of awesome. So who would win? The clone troopers or the Empire? Yeah. The Order 66 clone troopers or the Empire, or the rebels versus the Separatists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me that's interesting. Although, like you, I love the clone troopers. I don't really have any of the droids. Just the prequels really turned me off to the droids. Oh, what about the Gungans? But they're in there. They're in there.
They could do Gungans.
You know what?
Because they did do Wookiees for Rebels.
Well, in the Phantom Menace, George Rodriguez. All right, I don't want to say it, but I have to say it.
Don't even.
But the
put it in there.
Gungans, the fighting was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
They had the weapons and they were warriors and stuff. So that might be
one of like a Gungan on like one of those like those emu looking things.
Right,
or,
right.
Like, not emu looking, like the horse looking, or whatever they
Yeah,
were.
I know. And then you have Qui-Gon and Darth Maul. You're talking just Phantom Menace. So
Darth Maul versus Vader. You
Right.
know, you could do all these
right,
things.
Darth Maul versus Vader. Darth Maul versus Palpatine. Darth Maul versus Boba Fett or Bosk. It's just limitless.
Yeah.
I think Darth Maul would kill everybody, but dice the way they are.
Now, we talked about clone troopers and droids. Pretty cool. They're going to come out soon. I can't wait for that.
I think, and there's a lot of stuff, and I think there's still stuff from the original trilogy. I mean, even like the Solo movie, those guys were. It was
what was it? Yimban or something?
Yeah, but that's almost like a prequel time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
still Empire, but
right. The Empire's there.
Yeah.
It's after the prequel because Darth Maul is got his metal legs. So we could use our and then you can bring in the crime syndicates, and then the crime syndicate could be a whole scum and villainy faction. I'm just talking, prequel and
a whole bounty hunter army.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Faction.
There's some scum and villainy because that kind of goes back into X-wing.
Yeah.
So it's. It's pretty cool like that. I think.
That would be pretty cool. But we talked about clone troopers and separatists. but like around like 2020, maybe around this time, 2020, or
I think even
start of the summer.
Yeah, maybe
around the summertime. It's like
more, and maybe 2021.
yeah, like and maybe end of 2020. What's next? Like, what are they gonna? They can only do so much with clone troopers and separatists, and I don't think milking the four armies that they would have would be a good idea. So, like, what's next after that?
Very simple. We have the three new movies, the new trilogy.
Yeah.
We got you can't go back to Jakku,
You can't go back to Jakku.
right? We got Ren, older Skywalker.
See,
Snoke and all those guys. The
now,
First Order versus
the
the Resistance.
yeah.
The Resistance, because
Now, would it be good to do like an old Luke when you already have a Luke? You know what I mean?
I would like to see Luke Skywalker from the trilogy versus the older, wiser Luke Skywalker. It might be that. Maybe an older Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewie. I mean, Chewie's still around. he still looks good for himself.
Yeah.
But then you have the First Order troopers. You have the Order officers.
They have flame troopers.
Yeah, yeah.
They
So
have
now-
executioner troopers. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Which will be pretty
And
cool.
who's in the silver?
Phasma.
Phasma. So she could be in that. Which she's one of those Boba Fett's. Really didn't do much, but everybody seems to like her. I mean, I know I like her. So there is a lot of stuff, but then new tanks, new.
New vehicles,
right.
new stuff like that.
When you think about it, I don't know how it would scale up because we still don't have AT-ATs, right? AT-ATs. But remember when they were in Jakku and Finn looks up, he's like, we got to move. They were TIE fighters, underneath in the atmosphere. I thought they were just for...
Well, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Ships like that.
But then also the X-Wings were coming too. So, I mean, if you want to do dogfighting battles, I guess you would play X-Wing.
I think doing... I don't know about doing, like, big ships, per se.
No.
If they were to bring in AT-ATs, I think, like, that should be, like, a mission thing, where, like, you can't... Oh, it's like the AT-ATs, you can take them and they're 400 points. I don't think that they should do that. I think it should be a mission thing
but if you do
where
that,
you can
then
do
you can
missions.
You could do a Grand Army and go to 1,200 points, and then do that. But then the rebellion or whoever else has to have something comparable to that. So, like right now, the airspeeder, which it's not that good. Hopefully they're going to fix them. But the Empire right now doesn't have anything that's like the airspeeder. Now they're going to come out with the tank, but then they come out with the land speeder, which is it's not the same, but vehicles are coming out.
Yeah.
Like the bikes are not like the airspeeder. And I know the airspeeders are terrible. I know I have 2 of them, but
When I
they gotta
played
fix
them,
it.
they're
okay,
not that bad.
but they're very expensive. So like we were saying, going back to what's going to be there. So now we go through the new, the Force Awakens trilogy.
Yeah.
And
Now, what do they do after that? That's the real question.
well, so we're talking about another 3, maybe 4 years, right?
5 years.
Let's say 4. Let's say 4. Just because it's an election year. Let's go 4 years. What's going on? What's the plans? Because there's so many plans out there. What's the plans with the movies?
Yeah.
Now, will they start doing like from books of video games?
Yeah, and I think that the next trilogy, if they do a trilogy, should be nothing to do with Skywalkers or anything that we know. It's got to be something brand new. Best way to go, Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic.
And that would be a perfect time to do a Jedi and a Sith army for Legion, because that and also the cool thing back then is with the Knights of the Old Republic is that there's also the Mandalorian Wars. With that, you could introduce like old Mandalorians, and even you could do like a Mandalorians. I wouldn't say go to a Mandalorian army like as its own faction, but I do think Mandalorian as like a squad like different squads or something.
See, I disagree. I think a Mandalorian squad who is loyal to the Empire, because in Rebels, you know, Mandalore was it was weird because the way I took it was they are part of the Empire. They're loyal to the Empire, but it's not like the Empire has like a you know, their foot on their throats. They're kind of like doing their own thing. So then when Sabine came back, that was in Rebels, and it was, you know, one of my favorite episodes. You know, that's where the Darksaber and all that, you know, the whole storyline. I could see a Mandalorian army. But I mean, for me, I could see it. Guys with jetpacks and stuff, and that goes back to my Jedi. Not as elite as the Jedi, but better than a Jedi, because you know the Mandalorians have to be. They remind me of samurai. The armor is thousands of years old, passed down, so you can have like I don't know, maybe red dice, you know, lots of red and black dice, not too many white dice, surge to crit, surge to hit, you know, stuff
when
like
you
that.
think about it, it's like for Mandalorian and Army, it's like you look at the stuff that the Rebels and the Empire have. They have so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
How many things could you do for the Mandalorians? Now, they are doing the Mandalorian TV show, so we might see
Right.
some stuff
Well,
in
'cause
there.
It's the universe is expanding a lot,
Yeah.
and also don't forget there's a lot of canon out there that is not in TV or movies.
Or
You got
screw the canon and go and just let's bring in the Force Unleashed, that guy. You know, let's do
Dash Rendar.
let's bring in Dash Rendar. Let's bring in some Death Troopers from the zombies. You know, the Empire found out a way to control the zombies, and they're using I don't know. I'm just
just a tangent. I did enjoy that book.
that book was really good.
I
That
thought it
a
was good.
one,
It was
yeah.
silly, but it was good.
Yeah.
But we are getting the regular Death Troopers. So what would those guys be? There would be, I don't know, zombie Death Troopers, Dead Troopers, because the name of the book was Death Troopers.
Yeah, it's Death Troopers.
So and then we had them in Rogue One. So
Or you could just be Death and then just put parentheses around
Yeah.
Death or something.
yeah,
I don't know. They would have to figure it. I'm just saying
Somebody figure it
that'd be kind of stupid, but kind of cool. You know, they don't have to go by the canon with these movies. They really don't. They could do whatever the hell they
well,
want.
I think though that's the thing. So like if it's X-wing or it's Imperial Assault and stuff, they follow that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Oh, you know, it'd be really cool for like clones. They have the Republic Commando game. That squad. They have the Commandos. You know, that'd be cool. As like its own squad. You know what I mean?
and also you have to remember that the clone troopers, now like the Empire had the AT-ATs, right, the AT-ATs, but the clone troopers had the same thing but smaller scales, so those might fit better into Legion than it would. Now once you get that stuff, will we be able to cross? So will clone troopers be able to work with stormtroopers? Now I'm not saying, like right now, let's say 5 years from now we have all the armies and stuff. If I want to take, let's say, the Separatists and the Empire together, I could do it because I'm going to talk to you and we'll say, yeah, I want to do it. And you would say, well, I want to take Pre-Order 66 with the Rebellion and, you know, whatever. And I'm going to mix these guys and put some Mandalorians in. You could basically play it however you want. But we're saying letter of the law now. We're through the rule book. Certain things can't go with certain, you know, there's certain armies that just won't gel together. The Empire and the First Order can, yes. Because Kylo Ren and Darth Vader can work together.
I mean, doing like allied armies would be a little.
But it's part of it's a game. This makes you explore things.
I know.
If you're a kid and you have toys,
it would be-
Kylo can play with Darth Vader.
I know.
And work together,
It would
just
be
makes sense.
interesting. It would be interesting to see how they would pull that off. I'm not sure how they would pull that off and work that out. You know, but
It could work. It could work.
Yeah.
But it seems like we're not rushing it, but we're not fighting it. It's going to come.
we're not.
And the thing, here's a few things. Number one, they've been coming out releases, and it's not terrible because you can get 1 or 2 boxes a month.
Yeah.
Spend $50 and you get some cool models and shore up the armies. The thing I would like to see is, like, let's just say, for argument's sake, it comes out with the clones and separatists. Now we buy another set. another starter box. I don't need a starter box. We don't need a starter box because we have two sets of we basically have two starter sets with two sets of Empire and two sets of Rebels. So we have a lot of stuff. We have all the measuring things. I bought extra dice and I got a second set of dice plus more dice because I purchased it from someone and they gave me a ton. So we have enough dice. We have enough dice to go 4 tables, 2 tables, 4 games. So we're good. Another starter set. I would like to see like a battle group. So like, let's say I'm getting into Star Wars. We have a friend who wants to get into this. So you got to buy a bunch of things. No, maybe $200 and you get a whole thing. You get, let's say the Empire. You get a bunch of stormtroopers and you get, Bossk and this and that. And you get a bunch of things and you buy like one set, paint it up and you're ready to go. Instead of piecemeal. Now I know they couldn't do it now because the stuff isn't made. Yeah. I guess they're making it as they're going along. Unless this is a marketing thing. We're going to come out with something every month for Legion. Every month Legion's going to come out. I will say though, Fantasy Flight has been pretty good with that.
Yeah.
It's like every month something new's coming out. I'm going to say I love it and I hate it. They tease it and then you got to wait a little bit and then you see what's going on.
I just think that I like the stuff that they're coming out with, but then it's like, it seems like that they're kind of rushing it out. And like it seems like that they're putting out so much stuff, after a while.
But the thing
it's like, well, what happens in a couple months? Like this, we have to think of something.
But I think they have a plan. I think they have something because they have to be aware.
And also, that's more money for us to spend.
It's more money to spend. So as wargamers, it's like, all right, well, they've been very good with putting out the rules, FAQing it. They came out with you get that, you get the beginner guide, but then you could download for free the rule set. So they fixed the rules, they fixed some of the cards and things like that. So they're very supportive of the game. So I don't see them dropping this because it seems like it's just growing in popularity. I know that the LVO had a ton of people. Adepticon's going to have a ton of people. So it's only getting bigger. The only thing is the competitive players are just a small faction because most of the people, I'd say 90% of the people who play Legion are the guys in basements or going to stores that really don't do tournaments. Just the casual gamer, like I know myself, I'm competitive. You're not. You don't want to do tournaments, but you want to play the games and you like playing it here with the guys or we go to a store and play it. But you're like, tournament, you're like, maybe, maybe not. So you're like the real 90% of the guys. They've been very supportive of that. They've been very good with that. I think Fantasy Flight's going, I don't know if it's the new Asmodee or whatever it is. Stuff has to come out. Because if stuff doesn't come out, they lose the interest. Not only money, but interest. Let's say, man, I've been waiting for Tauntauns. All I want to do is run Tauntauns. Well, now they're coming out with them.
Yeah.
I wish they had Wookiees. I'm not playing unless they have Wookiees. Ewoks. There's no Ewoks.
We need Ewoks in this game.
You know what I'm saying? So if that's something that you want to play, they have to fill that need. Yeah. And I think that they're doing it slowly but surely. But then again, it's a year this month. This is March 2019. It's a month. It's a year that they're doing it. So
yeah.
But final thoughts?
I just think like whatever they do, it's gonna be cool and good nonetheless. It's just the kind of the reason why we're doing this video is because we're excited to see what they're doing and we want to see. We really want to see what they're doing, and
we're just kind of rambling about what we'd like to see.
Yeah, and I'm excited for everything that they're gonna come out with, and all the stuff that they've revealed, and all the news videos that we've done. I like everything pretty much.
I just like, and honestly, I like doing those videos. I like sitting around discussing. Oh, we wish that. Oh, maybe this, that. It gets you more excited for the game.
Yeah, but
that's it.
That's pretty much it for the video.
If you're with us this long and you started, this is not a rant and it's not a hate video. This is more like we like this so much, and there's always this little trepidation that as the game gets bigger, they do something where it's not going to be fun anymore, and that's what we don't want. We want it to be this game. I mean, not for nothing. me running a bunch of stormtroopers, or flying 2 air speeders, or an ATST and Luke and Leia. It's just what, like when I was a kid, I was into Star Wars. Then I got older, I was still into Star Wars, reading the books and stuff. But now I can actually play it in wargaming, which is what we're into now.
Yeah.
And then I can share it with you, and that is more that is what we like, the sharing, and that's also a reason we're doing the channel. But honestly, we're excited. But what do you think? That's the main thing. So we'd like to keep this going. Comment down below. What are you looking for? I know there's stuff coming out, and I'm sure there's some of you guys watching the video like, these guys, they don't know what they're talking about because I read this is happening, this is happening. Let us know.
Yeah.
Also, if you can, why don't you drop by our Discord? Our Discord, we talk about all types of wargaming, lots of games, but Star Wars has been, we've been doing a lot of Star Wars talk because of the interest in Star Wars now. And also, we have a Patreon page. So if you'd like to fund us, help us make more videos, we try to make them as high quality as we can. And, if you want to chuck in a buck, that'd be great.
So that's it. We'll see you in the next one.